Yeah, this definitely isn't right, but we're out of time. Just gotta try it and see what happens. Yeah. Alright, go again.
Each week, I get the free game from the Ever Game Store. I have over 400 titles, and until the start of the series, I played less than half. A dozen. I've stopped calling myself a gamer and started calling myself a collector. Now, I may never get through my back catalogue, but I can't stop it getting worse. Join me as each week I play through the latest giveaways, and maybe we find some gems along the way.
If looks could kill, she'd tear your heart to pieces and eat it. No reason, got venom in her lipstick, sadistic, I'm dead. If looks could kill, I'd be buried like 10 feet. Come get me, I'll dress it for a funeral. Like usual, I'm dead. If looks could kill.
This week's first game was Beacon Pines. Beacon Pines is a narrative-driven adventure that plays like a visual novel but with open-world controls. It opens with a traditional storybook opening where we're told that this book is unlike any other. The story has not been told yet and is waiting for you to write it.
Though it might at first appear like many books you've come across, it is far from ordinary. The story that awaits you has not been fully told.
So naturally, we start with the story that has been written. We're introduced to the main character, Luca, at his father's grave. We're soon joined by our best friend Rollo,
Rollo was Luca's closest friend.
who, a little insensitively, points out Luca's mum has also mysteriously vanished. After regaining control of the character, we leave the grave through some dandelions, which forces Luca to sneeze and unlocks the first of many charms. There's no explanation for what these are yet, but we're told there's more to collect.
Wonderful! I had a good feeling about you from the moment you opened my book. That charm is a very special thing. Very special indeed. Keep hold of it for now. Its purpose will reveal itself soon enough.
After searching the house for anything and everything I could find, I head out back to tell Granny I was going to hang out with Rollo. It was at this point that charms were explained. Put simply, charms are used to influence the narrative by inserting keywords into specific sections of the story called turning points. I chose to use the keyword chill at this point and moved on.
We were just gonna go chill for the day. The best lies are built on truth.
I was then told I could return to any turning point I'd discovered and change the charm I'd previously chosen, forcing the story to branch off in a completely different direction.
At any time, you can use the Chronicle to go back and invoke different charms, creating new branches.
I was then forced to relive the story I had just completed as an example of how this worked. As I was perfectly happy with my previous choice, I chose it again and continued on my way.
The best lies are easy.
I met with Rollo at the treehouse as planned and was given my next directive. Rollo wanted to check out a previously abandoned warehouse near his place. So I headed through town, ran into Rollo's big sis, who was not amused with his shenanigans lately, and was given my second turning point. As I'd only collected one charm for this interaction, I chose the only option that was available to me. This resulted in Rollo being dragged back to his home to do some chores, and left me stranded to explore the abandoned warehouse all alone. I broke in through an electric fence, pressed my ear up against the door, got knocked back by a man in a hazmat suit, and received a new charm right before my adventure came to an end.
The heavy steel door knocked Luca to the ground. Disoriented, he looked up to see an imposing figure silhouetted in a green glow. Dangerous animal. The end? I probably should have warned you about this.
So I went back to the previous turning point. This time, armed with a brand new charm, I branched the story in a completely different direction.
I gotta go back! Fix future!
After kicking Roxy in the shin, I was able to explore the abandoned warehouse again, this time accompanied by Rollo. We found some walkie-talkies in the trash and managed to hide from the man in the hazmat suit. Same events, different outcome. And that's essentially what Beacon Pines boils down to. It's a choose-your-own-adventure novel, except instead of holding your fingers between the pages, you can go back and see what happens if you make a different choice. Every branch you've discovered is saved in the chronicle for you to revisit. The artwork is super cute, the narrator's voice is captivating, and the story manages to be both dark and mysterious without losing its charm. But what really stood out to me was the use of time as a storytelling mechanic. It's something I haven't really seen done this way before, and it works incredibly well with the game's branching narrative. I give Beacon Pines a 9 out of 10. The other game this week was We Were Here Together.
My king, his wish was easily apprised. More heirs he sought to sire.
This is the third game in a series of 5, with a 6th scheduled for release later this year. It is also the second time Epic has given this one away, as it was previously available for free on December 26th, 2025.
As your hearts fill with trepidation, you cross my realm of gloom. Will you prove to be my salvation, or shall my name spell out your doom?
We Were Here Together is a first-person cooperative puzzle adventure. We started our journey in a snow-covered shack on the coast of an unnamed island. This section contains 4 puzzles that we needed to solve in order to progress. We had to find and distribute 5 valves to operate some doors, decode a message using the radio inside the shack, triangulate coordinates on a map in another room, and finally fill the snowmobile with fuel before we could take it for a drive and attempt to rescue the lost explorers.
Anybody out there? We don't shelter any cold, so we can't go back. Out there. We don't shelter any cold, so we can't go back.
This led us to an old mine site filled with elevators and pulleys that we needed to navigate, which brought us to a tunnel filled with locked doors and coloured levers, before finally leading us to a suspension bridge. Using a device in a nearby room, we were able to pull the bridge out from the fog and cross to the other side. It was at this point we found ourselves separated in a large castle. Up until now, if we didn't understand what the other person was trying to explain, we could simply switch positions and look at the puzzle from their perspective. But from here on, we had to rely entirely on verbal communication. I was trapped in a room with nothing but a 5x5 grid, and my exploration partner was locked in a room with what he could only describe to me as demonic books.
What the hell are you talking about?
After much frustration, confusion, and questioning whether we were both speaking the same language, we eventually solved the puzzle and continued on. I soon found myself trapped in another room, this time with what I can only describe as a Tesla coil slowly making its way towards the shallow waters I was standing in. I tried and failed to accurately explain my situation. The Tesla coil reached the water, fried me, and brought our adventure to an abrupt end. I absolutely love this game. I've played almost every game in this series, and although the puzzles are exactly the same as they were when I first played them, I still found the challenge of trying to explain solutions over Discord incredibly entertaining. You'll often find yourself staring at a puzzle, completely unaware of what clues the other person is looking at, and while a lot of the puzzles don't make much sense at first, I never found one that didn't follow a logical path once we figured out what we were supposed to be doing. To me, We Were Here Together feels like a virtual escape room with a compelling story. The only real fault I could find is that the game has a very little replayability. Once you've solved the puzzles, there's not much reason to solve them again. Even returning to this game 4 years after I originally completed it, a lot of the solutions came flooding back to me. But sometimes that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it's nice to simply finish a game, put it down and know you're done. I give We Were Here Together a 10 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for next week's giveaway of Caravan Sandwich. And as always, if you played either of these titles yourself, please drop a comment and let me know your thoughts.